Hey, my friends, welcome back to the Born to Cruise channel. I'm your gracious host, Michael Merritt. It's so great to have you here on this Tuesday, November 5th, Election Day. History is going to be made today. Have you voted? Make sure you vote. You can't complain about things if you don't vote. Your vote makes a difference. One person makes a difference. We'll talk about that more in just a second, how one person and one thing can make a difference. But just know that today, you could be the person that makes that difference. So I hope you voted, and I hope you get out there and make a difference. All right? So happy Tuesday to you. It is election day. It is a big day. It is history going to be made. We did just get through with Halloween. I hope you had an amazing Halloween. All right. And as we move forward now, the next holiday, of course, is a Thanksgiving. And it's one of my favorite holidays because to me, Thanksgiving is all about family. Christmas is obviously a great holiday as well. But Thanksgiving is one of those holidays that's just all about, hey, let's get the family together. So I hope you're looking forward to Thanksgiving like I am. Let's get you guys started. What is the latest cruise news for the week? The first thing I'm going to start with is talking about the cruise ship, the Regal Princess, which is sailing out of Galveston. Now, the Regal Princess had a cruise on 10/27, which was canceled. Come around to 11/3, the next cruise was canceled. And what they did was they offered 100% cruise refund and 25% towards a future cruise. And they did that on 10/27. And on 11/3's cruise was canceled, they did the same. Many people reached out, and this is what I was saying a second ago, how one person can make a difference. They started reaching out to ambassadors, CEOs, and sending emails and complaints saying that's just not enough. You canceled on us literally the day before. We need a little more than what you are giving us. And lo and behold, they just came back and said, you know what? We're going to give 100% refund, 50% towards a future cruise, $200 towards any last minute travel. So per person. So when it comes down to it, because people did speak up and say something, one person started it, but really and truly, it was a flood of people that felt like they were wronged by Princess Cruise Lines. So it does make a difference. Speak up and say something. Remember that today, all right? One person can make a difference. So, next, I have down here a guest that was intimidated on a Carnival cruise. Now, they were in the main dining room. They sent an email to John Hill, the ambassador for, of course, Carnival Cruise Lines, and they said that they were intimidated that the main server, had visible tattoos, and it really upset them. They were aghast and they felt like that no one should have visible tattoos. Did John Heald agree? They went on so far in the email, it was crazy. I don't have the email in front of me, but they went on so far as to say nowadays people are getting tattoos removed just to get a job, and why would you even think about showing your tattoos? Well, I think that's a little bit far. I understand that some older folks are still intimidated by tattoos, but it is a different age now. By the way, I don't know anybody that I've ever known that's went and got a tattoo removed to go get a job. But if you know somebody, let me know. But it is a different age. It is a different age. Visible tattoos. I can tell you, I've been a paramedic for 30 years, and yes, back in the day, there was never ever a visible tattoo on a firefighter, a police officer, a medic. You couldn't work in the emergency department. You couldn't work in any of those areas and be a nurse, respiratory therapist, medic, anything, and show visible tattoos. The business has all changed. Now, police, fire, EMS, tattoos are visible, and they're perfectly fine with it. Cities say, we don't care. The tattoos don't make the person. And so when people come out and say that they're offended that the server had visible tattoos, that's a little far. It's a little much to me. It's a different age now. I understand that this may be still offensive to some folks, but this isn't the 70s, 80s, 90s, early 90s, where if you had a visible tattoo, anything below the sleeve line, elbow down, meant that you were a criminal. All right. And that's just not this the case anymore. So I want to remind you, myself included, as a 30-year paramedic, my right arm is completely sleeved, and I've got half of the other side. All right, and so I am kind of partial to tattoos myself. But this story just kind of struck me like, wow, they were intimidated, and it should never be allowed. So, how do you feel about that? Put some comments down below. Number three, Disney Cruise Lines. The new ship, the Treasure, is on its way to Port Canaveral. It's making its sailing across, and it's going to be there pretty soon to start taking travelers around. The beautiful Disney Treasure now going to be out and about, ready to cruise. They took delivery of it not too long ago. Norwegian Cruise Lines, they are boasting about a 52-week high on their stocks. Pretty much everybody right now, Carnival, Royal, Norwegian, everyone in the cruise industry stock is up. Why? Because the cruise industry is doing really good. Royal Caribbean just said the other day how they hit a 52-week high on their stocks and how well they're doing, and that they're 50% booked for 2025 already, and they're not lowering any prices. When people ask, are they going to lower prices? Because right now they seem to be kind of high on some things, and they said no. 50% booked already. We're not going to lower any prices. We seem to be doing okay getting people still booked. So we're not going to lower any prices. Now, Royal Caribbean, stating that fact, has the highest as far as the cruise lines go. If you look at Norwegian, their stock was cruised out at $25.69. Carnival was in like the $21, $22 range. But when we look at Royal Caribbean, it sits at $207.14. And Royal contributes this to a lot of things, the new cruise ships, things like that, the destinations. But they said one of their biggest things is it is their private island purchases, with Perfect Day at Coco Cay, with them having the Bahamas, and now Mexico, where they purchased the Costa Maya port, which I'm actually going to visit here in just about, I don't know, 4 weeks. December 8th, I've got a sailing myself, and I'm so looking forward to it. Costa Maya, Belize, and Cozumel. Get ready for some video because I'm going to be bringing it to you from the ship. It'll be on the Carnival Dream, but we're going to be showing you every port, excursion wise. In Cozumel Paradise Beach Club, when we're in Costa Maya, we rented a golf cart, so we're going to be running all around. In Belize, we're just going to really hit the port, but going to get lots of great video for you coming out of that. Looking so forward myself to jumping on the ship here in about a month. So, but Royal Caribbean doing really great out there, and they attribute it to their private island purchases, which they will continue to do in the future. I don't know about you, but it seems like there's a lot of travelers that like that. They want this destination, and obviously for the cruise ship, hey, if we can cruise you to our island, hey, we're keeping it. You know, why would I take you off to Nassau or somewhere else and let you get off the ship when I can keep you here or get you on the island? And you know, MSC, all these ships, cruise lines are doing the same thing. It's a very, very smart thing to do. Next, Bar Harbor, Maine. Bar Harbor, Maine wants a do-over. Uh-oh. A few years back, they decided that, you know what, we just have too many tourists coming off these cruise ships, and we're going to limit that. We'll limit it. And we're going to vote on it. They limited it to 1,000 cruise passengers a day. That's it. Too many people coming to visit us. We don't like it. All right. Now they're revisiting that idea. They want to now go back and amend that. They want to revote up to 3,200 people a day. Apparently, after this now being going on for a while, the shop owners are like, look, it's really cutting into our revenue. And, you know, it may be great for some, but it's not great for others. So we need to kick this back up. And so now they want to amend that. So if you thought about going to Bar Harbor, Maine, 3,200 is what they're trying to amend it to instead of 1,000, which will really put more people in that spot per day. All right. We've seen that with Alaska and some other places saying, you know what, we like tourists, but they need to limit it. It's just too much per day. The over tourism thing is across the world happening, right? Next, CEO from Royal Caribbean, Jason Liberty, was stating that right now, where is Royal Caribbean heading as far as our focus? And he said we're focusing on short vacations. In other words, 3, 4, 5 day cruises, and focusing on basically those folks that want to do those short cruises, then maybe roping them back in on the backside for longer cruises. That is his backside intention. He said once folks go on a 3 or 4 or 5 day cruise, we find that we survey them and they say they really enjoyed it, and now they're going to come back for a 6, 7, maybe even longer. But really and truly, they want to concentrate and focus on the 3, 4, 5 day cruisers, and that way they can really, really get after them. It is the millennials. Royal Caribbean has said it. It is the millennials that they're aiming for. Why? They said they have the money. They like to cruise. They love the booze cruises themselves. So it is absolutely the millennials that they're going to aim at this state. Of course, millennials are born from 1980 to 1995, and that is their big range there, right? So, of course, the boomers are going out, and the Gen Xers, that's me. I'm right in behind the boomers. But they said, you know what, Gen Xers, we already kind of have them roped in. We already have that, right? And as the cruise age continues to drop down, the average age just 5 years ago being 66, now 5 years later dropped to 55. You can tell the age is coming down. All right. Next, Mobile, Alabama. If you're in around that area, wanted to cruise out of that area, they are looking to add more cruise ships. Now, right now, they have one cruise ship going out of there. It is a Carnival ship, and they're looking to add more parking spaces in that cruise terminal so that they can eventually bring a second, maybe even a third cruise ship in the future. But that's going to take some voting, some terminal buildup, and parking. Because if you don't have any parking, you certainly can't put 3,000 people onto a ship. So they're going to have to do a little infrastructure work to build that up. But right now, Mobile, Alabama, one ship in that port, and they're looking to expand. Big news for them in the future. Virgin is now going to be sailing to Alaska in 2026, following the trend. Everybody's moving to Alaska. Here we go. So Virgin has jumped on that as well. In 2026, they will be offering trips to the beautiful state of Alaska. Viking Cruise is adding on to their ocean fleet, their ocean ship fleet. Right now, they have 9 ships total. They are adding one ship at a time, looking to have 17 ships total by 2030. Wow, that's adding some ships to their ocean fleets. Now, obviously, we know Viking Cruise Lines to be more of a river cruise, but they are definitely adding onto their ocean fleet to compete with the big boys and girls out there. All right. And then I have down number 10. Number 10 is cruise ships and economic import to the ports. The top 6 out there follows number 1, stating the Bahamas. The Bahamas profited $654.8 million, followed by Cozumel at $483.1 million, U.S. Virgin Islands at $258.1 million, Dominican Republic at 251.4. Number 5 was St. Martin at 237.8 million. And number 6 was Puerto Rico at 201.9 million. That's a lot of money to these ports. We'd like to see it get more into the people's hands. I have heard many times before, on average, that when you reflect these numbers, they say that probably 10% of whatever hits the port actually gets to the people. And so if $655 million was dropped at the port of Bahamas, did the people really get even 65 million? 10% of that? I don't know. There's a lot of people struggling in these areas that we find as luxurious and pleasurable. And they are. They're gorgeous. And that's what they're doing with these places, right? They just keep us on the outside of the fence and tell us just stay right here. Because if you go outside of this, there's crime and poverty and people don't have any money. But if you stay right up here, it's beautiful and it's resorts and beach clubs. And it is. And you come off a cruise ship and you see a lot of beautiful things. But we need to get that money. We need to get it flowing back into the people that really need it and really make it an effort. If you are a traveler like I am, as I've started to do here recently, and obviously I have not had the ability to do that throughout my life, but I have recently in the last couple of years. And so if you're a traveler like me, let's try to make sure that we push an effort to getting money back to those places because really that's what needs to happen. Get it in the hands of people need. And very last, guys, and get off here because I don't like to do long videos and I've already gone too far for the cruise news for the week. But lastly, a female that got arrested the other day in Key West coming off of a Virgin ship. She was arrested for spraying chemicals into a uh, clerk or a worker there on the ship's eyes. She sprayed a bottle of spray chemicals, whatever it was that the person was cleaning the room with, Apparently, they were cleaning a bathroom with these chemicals, and this young lady apparently was over intoxicated, grabbed a bottle of spray from her cart. Long story short, she ended up spraying this person in the eyes. And this person had to be sent to the hospital. And as they took him off, they said, man, this could actually even like blind them. I mean, that's how bad this is. And she was arrested, taken to Key West, and has now been charged with a second-degree felony. It is a big deal. So stuff happens on cruise ships, no doubt about it. This is an example, I think, of over intoxication. Maybe it has to do with a few other things, whether it's entitlement, whatever. Sometimes people go on cruise ships and they lose their mind, whether it's entitlement, whether it's forgetting that we all have to play together, whether it's drinking too much, whatever it may be. Entitlement follows suit a lot of times with things. So, just a crazy story coming out of Key West. That's the stuff I have for this week. I want to thank you for spending a few minutes with me. Please like, subscribe, share. When you like and subscribe, it helps us grow. I am trying to grow this channel because I want to continue to bring travel news to you, travel tips and tricks and news in the future. And that is my goal. I went on a cruise back in July and fell in love. I am born to cruise. And so, again, looking forward to bringing you more stuff in the future. My name is Michael Merritt. I hope you have an awesome and amazing day. Have an amazing week. Remember, it's election day. If you have not voted, get out there, vote. Remember, your vote makes a difference. And today, history will be changed, my friends. Have an awesome day. Until next time, you were born to cruise. Remember that. So get out there and cruise. Have an awesome day. Till next time.